Okay, I think we should be good. Let's get the audio back up and running. So, today, let me just double check that the stream is back up because I had to change some audio settings. Okay, everything is working. So we can do basically what I was planning on doing today. So So here's what the plan is today. The plan is we're going to be working on this boss. Nope, that's the wrong level. We're going to be working on this boss. It is probably the World 5 boss. Probably the World 5 boss. And this is what we're trying to solve. I should have waited a second before calling the before doing the action that caused the crash, but that's basically what we're trying to do. If I don't grab the butternut squash, it won't crash. So we got this big guy, and he's missing a lot of collision. And what I want to do is I want to make it so you can pick up this squash and throw it, and it'll bounce off of the head. I took the time and, where is it? Adapted some fancy collision functions for line point, line circle, and triangle circle from Jeffrey Thompson's articles. And so the goal is to debug these tonight, or today, and figure out exactly how to fix that. So, what line is it crashing on? DA 14406. Oh, that's just supposed to be D1. Okay. It's not crashing the second I grab it, which is a good thing. But it's also not actually colliding. So what we need to do is in triangle circle collision, we can call a trace true. Oh wait, that's gonna go after the trace. Okay. So right now we're just trying to see if that line is even calling. It is not, so either it's not running, it's either not running or none of those are returning true. Okay, so we are calling it, which means that line circle collision isn't returning anything. What we can do, and probably should do, is... So this T is the triangle. It's a table containing all the vertices in x1, y1, xn, yn. So we're gonna check and see if it's actually running at all. Or see what it's actually returning. 0. Okay. If I do 2, 1. What I'm now remembering. Yeah, okay. So the problem is where I am calling this. It's this ents_i.tries. This will be easier to do if I just adapt it into the triangle function. There's a lot of empty space here. What I need is so we're going to offset it by the jaw coordinates. Offsets in there. You know what? No, that's unnecessary. We'll go back. We'll get rid of these. The way that I should do this is instead of calling ent.tries, I need to find where I draw the triangle. Those are for the thorns. This is it. So we've got where's the actual try function? Px plus tries, py plus tries. So where am I calculating px and py? That is up here somewhere. So this is one of the places where it'd be nice to have a more, we'll just step through it and see if we can find it. Jaw pivot point, here we go. Yeah, okay, so it is just .jx and n.jy. Yeah, we'll just do it here. least I don't want to use I. 1. The last value in the tries table is the color that it renders with. So I have to do tries minus 1. This is going to cause all sorts of problems, but it will be fine. So this is the first vertex at 0.1, or the x coordinate of the first vertex equals that plus int dot jaw offset in the x direction to y. I think that's the easiest way to do that. Apologies if you can hear the truck outside. It is very loud. Okay. Okay, I don't need this anymore because we're already fixing that outside of the function call. Just to add some safety in there to double check that ent.jx is actually a valid. Okay. Well, of course, it's the ever-present have to, because we're doing this as this is a problem. There's probably a more elegant way to solve it, but because we're doing, honestly, whatever. It is what it is. I think the problem is because I'm doing 4K ent in pairs ents. Okay, so now it's running. We're still not actually colliding with the triangle. But will it actually do anything if it should splat? Trace success. So that should print to the terminal. If indeed we are successful. Okay, it was not successful. Okay, so we know that tricirc collision is being called. That is, at this point, we can take that as a fact. Because if I do this, yeah, we're getting. Why are all these? It's additive. It's adding ent.jx to it every frame. That's that's a local variable, so it should not be. What did I do? Oh. Two parentheses. Okay, so the problem that we're having here is the tries variable is somehow apparently getting pushed back. Just for my own sanity, I'm going to just double check that it's not because I have, well, no, because they're local variables. There's no reason that should be working. Hey, 11019. Accelerating towards 6 plus 2,000 plus 2,000 plus 2,000. Yeah, it's like it's adding 1,600 every frame, which makes sense, but I don't understand. Specifically calling it a local variable, which should mean that it's being so I'm calling it a local variable. That should mean that it's getting made and thrown out every iteration of this for loop. But for reasons that are currently unclear, it's not just that it's not being thrown out, it's that it's being saved, which I guess kind of makes sense with being thrown out. So we're adding the jaw offset to it. You know what, there's no functional difference to that. Let's see if it crashes. It could, or it could not. It's possible. And it did. 11:019. That's this line. Starts as shapekeys.default, which is shapekeys.default is this. So it's the full set of all three triangles. And we're looking at just the webbing because it's ent.tries bracket 1. These three plus the 8. To Control Z until everything makes sense again. Oh, it's because of the ID. Is let's just check that it's not nil. The question is, when is it going to crash? Okay, it's the second that I pick up the squash. Attempt to index a nil value, field question mark. Okay, ent.tries is shapekeys.default. And no, it was ID. It was just that I made the mistake in the jaw offset coordinates. Okay. So this should at least not crash at that same line. And it didn't. It crashed in the next line. Nope, not ID. That's going to continue to haunt me. Okay. Wow, that's a 14,452. Attempt to perform arithmetic on a table value. Oh, because now this is where I bring back the bracket 1. So we're pulling the first one instead of it being a table of 3 triangles. We're just pulling the first of the 3 triangles. Okay. So that's a start. We're missing a triangle. Where did the webbing go? Let's try tries 2. So this should be pulling the top or bottom of the jaw. I don't remember which one is first and which one is second. Shouldn't matter. Okay, so it's the top of the jaw. And for reasons that are not clear, if we're checking collision on it, it stops drawing. Curious. Curious. So yes. Okay, so we're tracing out the first. Okay, so it looks normal. The second I grab it, the top of the jaw disappears. And then it doesn't come back because why is it oscillating so wildly? 30,000. 30,000. So it goes up to 30,000 and then all of a sudden it drops back to like 15,000. That is weird. Okay. Let's try something. I'm going to undo that section of the code. Okay, that makes sense. It is... is that what does it? So right now I'm trying to figure out where the value is actually being saved, because that's what's happening here. Somehow the fact... I know 21. Okay, that's fine. That's a normal, understandable crash caused by my inability to follow basic patterns. Okay. Awesome. I guess, yeah, because it's not even checking the collision anymore. So if I copy that and I just set local ABC. If I just set this keyboard mash variable to that, does it now break the jaw? I have a feeling it will, because I have a feeling that the issue is coming from calling that function. There's something... Yep, okay. There's something that I should not be doing in this try_circ function. That. We're just gonna start cutting out different chunks of the code and seeing if it makes the problem go away. Okay, so it is in there. Is this one of those bugs? Is this one of those bugs? So there's a type of bug that I've dealt with before, and I do not remember how I solved it, where basically I screwed up something with the way that these variables are being handled. And instead of it being a reference to that, it is actually just getting that table. Which means this is going to be a Google time. Reference to table instead of... no, I need a copy table. Okay, so I have discovered the issue. I do not know what the problem is, or what the solution is. So the reason is that in Lua, apparently, if you set up a local copy of a table, even if it's local, the values will still be saved to that table. So that is what the problem is. So what I need to do is... You know what? The easiest way to do this is to get rid of this. And then just add plus OX. I do it here, so I'm never actually saving anything to the table. It's one of those weird edge case bugs that I'm kind of surprised has not caused me more problems until now, but it's very good to know. So now if I do this, I think everything will just work the way I want it to. It crashes, but that's honestly preferable. Okay. So where is the crash occurring? 21. So it's this one? Oh, it's that bug. I guess I Control Z'd too many times. Hey, it's working. It's checking. We're actually getting the collision. You can tell because instead of yeah, it's not touching the stem at all. Okay. Wow, you learn something new every day. So now I guess the question is, how do you actually deal with colliding everything? And by that I mean, like, I don't need to change the hit count value. Yes. So that'll make it harder for that. I don't know what I want the velocity of this to do. So the way that I'm doing it here is when I'm colliding with the stem, I'm checking each individual circle and then bouncing it at the normal, bouncing it like away. Yeah, so it bounces away and off. But how do I do that with the triangle? Because I don't want, like, that looks fine. That looks acceptable, honestly. What was that weird edge case that I got it into? There was a weird edge case. What I think I should do is I need to check so I want the direction. So this will give me the direction, but it will... Is it faster to do it purely mathematically, or is it faster to... If nk.x is less than pd.x, then k.vx equals negative 5. No, positive 5. Because I want it to move towards the player. I want it to always move towards the player. Else. And because the thought is I'd never want it to get caught in... Oh. I never want it to get caught behind the entity, or I want to prevent that as much as possible. That looks good and natural. See, I mean, you can get into some weird cases. No, that's not the answer. The answer is actually way simpler than this. It's k.vx equals negative 5 times int I.fl. the .fl variable is which direction it's pointing. So if it's pointing in the positive direction, it's pointing right, and if one of the two. Okay, cool. So it's working. So it should always bounce opposite the direction of which this guy is facing. So it should always come back to the player. That's what I want. Honestly, this boss fight could maybe serve to have a little bit more chaos, but like that looks good. I might even give it, just to make it like a little bit more consistent. I just set it to -3. So even if it's got a whole bunch of vertical velocity, it will kind of get capped. So I don't have to worry about it like just flying off into space. Not that it could, because there should be a ceiling on all these boss arenas, but yeah, that looks good. I'm happy with that. Honestly, maybe I need to do something similar with the circles, because right now it's kind of easy to like balance it back there if you kind of hit it near the top. So what I could do is I could just sort of induce, no, yeah, let's do that. So that's where we offset it. -1 times s.fl. So that should make it a little bit easier for it to move towards the player. It should always add a little bit of an offset. Only like 1 pixel per frame. Can I still make it? I think that bounced off the jaw. And it's pretty good, honestly. It only bounces off the top of the jaw, but honestly, that might be acceptable. I'm not... Does it need to bounce off the bottom of the jaw? Is there a scenario where... No, if only I actually had the health system triggered to actually delete the boss. What I should do... Where is the splat command? It's this one. 2 and 3. 2 and 3 are the red, so it needs to be 1 and 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1 and 13. Because I want the player to have to aim for the head. So if they're aiming for the stem, I want it to give a different kind of feedback. It's like, yes, you hit it, and that is satisfying to see the particles. Yeah, that's what I want. It doesn't give you the same sort of... It matches the color of the... It matches the color of the stem. So it's kind of like you're breaking off little pieces of the stem. What I should do is I should change it based on its K, because now what that'll do is that should spawn the particles at the center of the butternut squash. Yes, that looks good. That looks a lot better. Okay, that is the... Okay, yeah, that one needs to get changed as well. But that one is doing the right colors. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I like how that kind of sends its way back to the player. That's good. There's something there that's a little bit more... Oh, it's because the radius of this circle is 8. that should be 4, and hopefully, because it's an 8 pixel by 8 pixel squash, it's round-ish. I'm at least going to say it's round enough to be roughly spherical for the collision. Yeah, that looks like it's actually hitting where it's supposed to hit now. Oh, okay, where'd it go? Where did the squash go? Is there anything that it can even get stuck on? So either it clipped through the ceiling, or it went back through the portal. I don't think the portal... Cannons go through portals? I've just been using the portal as a cheap way to get me close to the portal, like to get me to the boss. Yes, it did go through the... No, it didn't. That's not a... That's a linking... That's a linking function. That's not an actual teleportation function. So that means I do not know where that butternut squash went. We have lost Houston. We have lost a butternut squash. Appear to have sent it into orbit. You know, I'm gonna try this. Yeah, I'm throwing it directly into the portal and nothing's happening. I mean, I just verified that's what it's supposed to do in the code, but I wonder... It would look really, really cool if when you hit it, when it's down like that, it would recoil. It would recoil like really, really fast. What is this? Get rid of both of these traces because it's actually doing what I want it to do now. Just to clean up the code. If is id dot id. If int I dot state equals. It's not thorn launch. It's not move left. It's not move right. It's not hammer. It's not tag. It's not lead. Right, move left, idle, thorn launch. Cut it to return immediately. I believe, yeah, int.lerp speed. Let's change this to like 0.9. So this is the speed at which it moves. That should, if it's in the poke state, which we'll wait for it to enter the poke state. Okay, now it's in poke prep, so it's in poke. Oh, that was cool. It didn't do exactly what I wanted, but that's the kind of feedback I'm looking for. That is 100% the kind of feedback I'm looking for. I could also make it flash. That could be... Oh, I do kind of like how hitting it messes with its pathing. Like, it doesn't go in... Okay, that's a... It can't... So that's because it's going below the ground, which is part of the move left and move right. Okay, that's mostly what I want. Return. Okay. Oh, because that's what it is. It's because I'm not changing the end state to... So CT is the counter variable that's being used to actually change it. So what's happening is, based on when the player hits it, it's not actually resetting the counter variable. What it's doing is it's just taking whatever the counter variable currently is, and it's just saying, sure, yeah, that looks good. It still isn't doing what I want it to do. I mean, that does look a lot. That's getting a lot closer to where I want it. And honestly, like, I'm just having fun, like, throwing the squash and kind of... Oh, you can cancel it. Oh, speedrun strats. Throw it now. I'm still not entirely happy with the way that it pounces. I really wanted to get, like, a different... Oh, that's interesting. I guess, yeah, like, based on that, we're not checking to see if the player has recently thrown it. That might be why it wasn't actually doing anything, because it's changing the wrong end.ct. It would be changing the squash's count variable as opposed to the boss. What would be cool, and the question remains whether or not I want to do this, would be to have sort of like a dazed command. So it change and dot. What is it actually? What's the it would be change next shape. Honestly, at this point, that's most of what I had wanted to do today, which was get the head collision working. And, I mean, we even added some feedback. I'm very happy with how the feedback turned out. We should add collision to the... We also have to use the triangle collision to check if the player's intersecting. Be a little bit more lenient on the player. Generally, I mean, generally it's considered good practice to sort of fudge the numbers in the direction of the player. So like the player's damage hurt box could be a little bit more, it could be larger than the enemy's hit box. single player game, like give the player all the advantages. It's not like you need to be super careful about things. You know, not in the sense of like a multiplayer competitive game. Do I want to do that? I mean, my apologies, it is yawning time. So it should. Okay, that's the bottom jaw. That's why I do kind of need to check the bottom jaw. This one, that's so satisfying. Let's keep playing with this. Probably a good thing. That means there's something cool going on here. So let's do this right now. Let's just take care of that edge case once and for all. If ents I dot fl is less than 0, what is? Okay, yeah, it's 0 and 1. So what I want to do is I basically want to check which direction the ent is facing. And if the squash is on the back, is behind the plant, then induce a velocity facing away from it. And ents I dot x is greater than ents k dot x. It's not ID. It's k.x. So those might be wrong, like at least like the directions. We might be checking in front of the entity. So now we need to do that and figure out something else. Throw it over. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, if you haven't been around for too long, right now we're trying to program in this boss in the indie game I'm working on, and we're tackling some collision edge cases. So when you find the draw stem, I'm going to get rid of the part where it kills the player here. Yes. So now I should be able to just carry the squash all the way through and not die. There shouldn't be any more hurt boxes. And it's wrong. It's going the wrong way, which is fine. Well, no, actually, those were right. These signs were wrong. I just need to flip those. Or at least commenting it out so I can test this one annoying bug. Okay, that bounced off the head. Okay, that looks like it did what I wanted it to do. Okay, yeah, that looks like it did what I wanted it to do. Yeah, it's okay. So that edge case is taken care of. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Okay, what else did I comment out to, actually, most of them undo until. Okay, so that fixed it. Let's add a comment here. We can make it check the bottom of the jaw. That's honestly a very simple thing to do. We can just do or check that. That should be 3. Now we should be getting collision on the bottom of the jaw. Yep, getting collision off the bottom of the jaw, that's perfect. Was that because it's the hit count thing? Okay, so that's cool. What I want to do now is I want to make it a little bit prettier. So we're drawing the circles at the radius, and they're the dark green. I would like to have this this outline color, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that should draw an outline behind. it's not going to drop behind everyone. It's going to be like in every other one. Already, I like that more. What we could also do is we could almost give this like there's like a SNES or an N64 game that's like a bunch of like balls kind of connected like that. So we can do that. That's fine. 13 minus 4. Let's just do a flat 3-pixel radius. So much of the art is being done just like this. It's this procedural art. It should have. That's getting somewhere. I think they're too. I think they're both too big and too far to the top left of the. But if I do that, it also kind of matches the drop shadow that a lot of sections in the game have, where they get darker kind of as they get closer. Not that one. See what happens if we kind of. Maybe this will make it look like we're getting a little bit of shading to the bottom right of the stem spheres. Oh. Yes. Yes. That does really sell it a lot more than I was expecting. Now those actually look like they're spherical. That's pretty cool, honestly. Okay, so that's that. Let's get these stems, not the tracer lines. The other ones. These. So let's do it 11. This one. This one. Minus 1. Minus 1. Plus 1. I don't know if this is actually going to give me the effect that I want, but I want the stems to look pointy and scary. You know what? We'll do this the janky way because I want to avoid doing as much math as possible. +1, +1, +1, -1, -1, -1, -1. I don't know. I don't even know if it's going to look good, so why would I? So this will just draw 4 extra triangles. It's a massive amount of overdraw, but like we're not sitting anywhere near the. There's a little bit of weird glitchiness going on, but I wonder if the answer actually is think that's that. Yeah, I think the answer actually is draw them behind the circles, because the circles are going to really take a lot of that focus. It hasn't crashed yet, so that must mean I did something right. I mean, yeah, it's drawing in front of and behind, so you can kind of see how it's being drawn. It's like this sequential stacking thing. But that's better than doing 2 whole separate for loops where we're duplicating all the equations and everything. I do like how it bites the squash and then just immediately recoils. I think that's pretty slick. I mean, it's total overkill. Maybe I don't need the outline. I mean, if it's against a dark background, it functionally is going to have the outline, and then it might even blend in a little bit better. Yeah, I don't think we lose too much getting rid of the outline. Let's turn flash to false. I still don't entirely know how to sell the impending danger without the flash. I'm trying to figure out a way of doing it. Like if I can, because we'll look at it now. And the flash really kind of sells the fact that it's like this sort of ephemeral, ethereal. These are not the words I'm actually. They're not the correct words for what I'm trying to say, but they get the point across, I think. The lines are not real. Yeah, some of these hitboxes feel a little off, but that is pretty cool. You can kind of just cancel that entire sequence. Let's skip watchers on the playlist. I don't feel like I'm in the mood for deep dub 140 stuff right now. Okay. We could continue to attempt to jazz up the circles, but at this point, honestly, I feel like anything we do is just going to kind of make it more whatever. Actually, hold on. What does it look like? Oh, it looks really good with the CRT filter, actually. I wish I had more steps for a green gradient, because I think those circles would look really, really good, but I want to figure out a way of drawing the and dot tries. So this is where we're actually drawing. No, this is the stem. So and dot tries is right here. know what? Let's try +2. So that should offset it diagonally down right by 2. Let's see if that gives me the effect that I'm looking for. It looks like one of those scissors you would use to shred junk mail. I want it to be like a dark shaded color to kind of like make it pop. It almost looks like Paper Mario. It's just a drop shadow. I don't hate it though. I really don't hate it. I really don't hate it actually. Oh no. I don't think that fits the aesthetic of the game, but it's so much cooler than already like an offset. They're mowing the lawn outside of my apartment. That's awesome. Let's just try 1.4. We can adapt to this later. I should have turned that into a variable, but I will do that next time. Oh, of course, yeah, it's going to be offset referenced to the jaw pivot point, which that's honestly a really sick look, because it looks like it's casting this like ominous shadow, like it's being lit from behind. I wonder what happens if I multiply all of the position offsets. I think that would break something, but it could break something in a cool way. Okay, we're just back at a drop shadow. No, wait, negative. No, that could work. No, there's no shot that works, actually. Let's try that, but without multiplying in the position offset. So that draws it referenced to PX. This is the kind of stuff where it turns into much more of an art than a science, where it's just like, I don't. Oh. It's kind of askew. So one of the +3s should be a -3. Oh, well, it's never gonna, actually, it's never gonna work, because the top and bottom are being offset in different directions. Okay. We'll leave the like Paper Mario. I don't know why I'm always going to Paper Mario for it. But that's just what like that really, really sharp drop shadow reminds me of. Maybe it's some from Super Paper Mario. Is this just a boss from Super Paper Mario? Did I just like yoink it? I always thought it looked kind of like the Grave Mine from Halo 3. Yeah, it's Halo 3. Or is it 2? It's 2 or 3. But especially with like sort of the drippy strands, that feels very Grave Mine. But something about like the specific shape of the mouth is really reminding me of Paper Mario. Specifically the Wii one, which I have played almost up to the final boss and then never finished. I like the color, or I like the very angular design of the head. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way that I could, if there's a way that I could like jazz it up a little bit. If I could give it a little bit of fanciness, whether it's shading or something else. I don't know if that would take away from it. We could do line tries 3. I believe it's tries 3. Webbing, top of head, jaw, yes. 1 to 2. Tries 3 brackets 1 brackets 1. Yes. And this would be tries 3 1 2. Tries 3 2 1. And then 2 2. And then what's the brown color? That's 8. Oh, there it is. I forgot to do the camera offset. Probably do this one more thing, and then we'll close up shop for today. Does it look cool? Yeah, it almost gives it like a little bit of a bevel. It looks less good when it goes back to do the jaw opening thing right there, because of the way that it's drawing each part of the head sequentially. So it's drawing top of jaw, drop shadow, top of jaw, bottom of jaw, drop shadow, bottom of jaw, etc., and then the line on top. But cool. Well, I think that really kind of closes things up nicely. I don't know if I'm going to keep this line. I don't know if I'm going to keep it, but it is pretty cool. Yeah. So anyways, thanks all y'all for hopping out and joining the stream. I appreciate anyone who tuned in. Yeah, if you want to check out Thwimbly, you can wishlist on Steam. It's just Thwimbly, THWIMBLY. Yeah, with that, I think I'm going to call the stream. Thank you so much for watching.